Welcome back, coin lovers and curious minds. If you're passionate about rare coins, vintage currency, or simply fascinated by history preserved in metal, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the story of a humble yet historically rich coin, the 1942 UK halfpenny. This small bronze coin may seem ordinary at first glance, but it carries with it the echoes of World War II Britain, the reign of King George VI, and a legacy that still captivates coin collectors to this day. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's find out just how much this coin is worth in today's market. In dollars. Have you ever come across a 1942 UK halfpenny coin and wondered what it's worth today? Well, you're not alone. Collectors and history enthusiasts alike are increasingly turning their attention to vintage British coins, especially those minted during significant historical periods, like World War II. The 1942 halfpenny is one such fascinating coin. Minted during a time of global conflict, this small bronze coin carries a large historical significance. Featuring the portrait of King George VI on the obverse side, the design shows the king facing left with the inscription George's 6D, G, BR, Omen, Rex F laughing face, IND, IMP encircling the profile. On the reverse, you'll find the image of the iconic sailing ship, the Golden Hind, an artistic tribute to Sir Francis Drake's legendary ship. This reverse design was first introduced in 1937 and became a beloved symbol on British coinage throughout the George VI era. Made from bronze, the 1942 halfpenny weighs about 5.67 grams and has a diameter of 25.5 millimeters. What makes this coin particularly interesting is its wartime background. While millions were minted, coins in genuinely good condition, with clear details and minimal wear, are becoming harder to find as years go by. So, what is a 1942 UK halfpenny actually worth today? The value depends significantly on its condition, with collectors often grading coins on a scale from good to mint state. A typical 1942 halfpenny in good condition, meaning it's circulated but retains most of its details, currently sells for around $100 to $300 in the collector's market. However, if the coin is in very fine or extremely fine condition, the price can increase to $500 to $1,000. And for coins in uncirculated or near mint condition, especially those that have been well preserved or professionally graded, collectors have been known to pay up to $2,500 to $4,000, and even higher in rare cases. What really boosts the value of this coin is a combination of factors: historical context, condition, and demand from collectors. Coins from the World War II era have a special appeal, and as time goes on, the number of well-preserved specimens continues to shrink. If you're thinking about selling or buying one, always consider having it appraised or graded by a professional. Online platforms like eBay, Etsy, and specialized numismatic auction houses often have these coins listed, and they give a good sense of current market trends. Keep an eye out for listings with proof like shine or sharp detail; those fetch top dollar. So, if you've got a 1942 halfpenny lying around in your coin box, it might not make you a millionaire, but it's definitely more than just a piece of old change. It's a tangible piece of British history with real collector value, especially in today's growing numismatic market. Whether you're holding on to it as a keepsake, looking to sell, or simply diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting, the 1942 UK halfpenny is a small coin with a big story, and potentially a nice little payout in today's market. Next up, the 1943 UK halfpenny coin. A small yet historically rich piece of British currency. Minted during the heart of World War II, this bronze coin may be small in size, but it holds great value in the eyes of collectors. So, whether you found one in your collection or just want to learn more, let's dive into the fascinating details of this wartime coin and find out how much it's really worth in today's market, in US dollars. Now, the 1943 UK halfpenny is a coin with serious historical weight. Struck during a time when Britain was in the thick of World War II, every aspect of life was impacted, including coin production. Despite the turmoil, the Royal Mint continued to produce coins for everyday use, and the halfpenny remained an important denomination. Like its 1942 counterpart, the 1943 version features the left-facing portrait of King George VI on the obverse. Around the portrait is the Latin inscription George's 6D, G, BR, OMN, Rex F laughing face, IND, IMP, which translates to George VI, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, defender of the faith, Emperor of India. Flip the coin over and you'll see the reverse side, showcasing the detailed image of the Golden Hind, the famous galleon captained by Sir Francis Drake. This ship design became iconic on halfpenny coins from 1937 up until the late 1960s. The 1943 halfpenny was struck in bronze, measuring about 5 millimeters in diameter and weighing approximately 67 grams. Although millions were minted during that year, the number of coins surviving in good condition has decreased over the decades, making them increasingly attractive to collectors. So let's talk value. If you own a 1943 halfpenny in good circulated condition, with clear details but some signs of wear, it's typically valued at around $100 to $300 on the collector's market. If your coin is in very fine or extremely fine condition, where most of the detail is sharp and the wear is minimal, the value can go up to $500 to $1,000. But if you're lucky enough to have a coin in uncirculated or near mint condition, you could be looking at anywhere from $1,000 to even $3,000, depending on the quality and demand. What makes this coin even more appealing is its historical significance. Coins minted during wartime periods are always of high interest to collectors due to their context and age. Combine that with the beautifully detailed design and the popularity of coins from King George VI's reign, and you have a piece that remains relevant and sought after. Whether you're buying or selling, keep in mind that values fluctuate based on condition, demand, and even the platform you're using. Auction sites like eBay often show different pricing trends compared to specialist coin dealers or private collections. In conclusion, the 1943 UK halfpenny may not be worth a fortune, but it's certainly a treasure in its own right. A small bronze coin carrying the legacy of a nation at war, it continues to capture the imagination of coin enthusiasts around the world. If you've got one of these in your collection, it's worth holding on to, or possibly selling at the right time and place. Either way, it's more than just old currency. It's a piece of history in the palm of your hand. Next up, the 1948 UK halfpenny coin, an often overlooked piece of British history that still holds value in the modern collector's market. Whether you're new to coin collecting or a seasoned enthusiast, this coin is a great reminder that even small denominations can carry big stories, and in some cases, surprising value. So let's dive into the details, explore its design, history, and most importantly, find out what a 1948 halfpenny is worth today in US dollars. The 1948 halfpenny was minted just a few years after World War II, during a period of post-war recovery and rebuilding in the United Kingdom. The country was still under the reign of King George VI, whose portrait appears on the obverse of the coin. His image is shown facing left, with the inscription George of 6D, G, BR, OMN, Rex F laughing face, INDIMP encircling it, a Latin phrase that means George VI, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. Interestingly, 1948 was one of the last years that the title Emperor of India was used on British coinage, as India had gained independence in 1947. This small detail makes the 1948 halfpenny historically significant for collectors. On the reverse side, you'll find the beautifully detailed image of the Golden Hind, the famous galleon captained by Sir Francis Drake. This ship design was introduced in 1937 and remained a staple on UK halfpennies for decades, admired for both its artistic detail and symbolic representation of Britain's naval power. The coin itself is made of bronze, weighs approximately 67 grams, and has a diameter of 5 millimeters. Like earlier versions, millions were minted, but over time, many have been lost, damaged, or worn down through circulation. So, how much is a 1948 halfpenny worth in today's market? Well, if your coin is in good condition, showing moderate wear but with all the main details still visible, it can sell for around $80 to $200. If your coin is in very fine to extremely fine condition, meaning it has sharp details with minimal signs of wear, the value typically ranges between $300 and $600. And for those rare examples in uncirculated or near mint condition, with full luster and no significant marks or scratches, collectors may be willing to pay anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500, especially if it has been professionally graded and authenticated. The value of any coin depends on several factors, including rarity, condition, historical context, and market demand. While the 1948 halfpenny isn't considered rare in the traditional sense, its post-war historical context, clean design, and royal portraits still make it desirable among collectors, especially for those building complete King George VI sets. Whether you're holding on to one as a keepsake, hoping to sell, or simply interested in what it's worth, the 1948 halfpenny is a fascinating little relic of Britain's past with real appeal in today's numismatic world. Next up, the 1962 UK halfpenny coin, a small yet classic piece from mid-20th century Britain. Whether you've recently found this coin tucked away in an old drawer, inherited a few from a family collection, or are just curious about its value, we're going to explore everything you need to know, from its history and beautiful design to its value in today's collector market in US dollars. This is your complete guide to the 1962 UK halfpenny coin. Now, the 1962 halfpenny is part of the final era of pre-decimal British coinage. Back then, the UK still used the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence, where 12 pence made a shilling and 20 shillings made a pound. The halfpenny, or ha'penny as it was often called, was worth 1/2 of a penny and had been in circulation for centuries in various forms. The 1962 version was minted under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, and it features her youthful portrait on the obverse side. This effigy, designed by Mary Gillick, shows the Queen wearing a laurel wreath with the inscription, plus Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina F. laughing face, which means Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This was the first official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II used on British coinage, making it a nostalgic design for many collectors. Turning to the reverse side, you'll see the classic image of Sir Francis Drake's ship, the Golden Hind. This iconic design, first introduced in 1937, remained a fixture on the halfpenny for decades. It represents Britain's naval history and adventurous spirit and is beloved for its detailed and artistic rendering. The coin itself is made of bronze, weighs approximately 5.67 grams, and has a diameter of 25.5 millimeters. Millions of these coins were minted in 1962, as they were still widely used in everyday transactions during that time. Now let's talk about what matters most to many of you, the value. If you've got a 1962 UK halfpenny in good condition, meaning the details are still visible but there's noticeable wear, it can fetch around $50 to $100. If the coin is in very fine to extremely fine condition with sharp details and only light wear, it might sell for $200 to $400. However, if your coin is in uncirculated or mint condition, with full original luster and no wear, it could be worth $800 to $1,500, especially if it's been graded by a professional service. While this coin isn't considered rare due to its high mintage, collectors still seek it out to complete sets from Queen Elizabeth II's early reign or for its nostalgic value. Its condition, eye appeal, and presentation can all influence how much it sells for in the current market. In summary, the 1962 UK halfpenny might not make you rich, but it's a beautiful little coin that offers a tangible connection to British history. It's a great starting point for beginner collectors and an important piece for those completing a full mid-century coin set. Whether you decide to keep it, sell it, or frame it as a piece of history, knowing its story and value makes it all the more meaningful. Next up, the 1965 UK halfpenny coin. This tiny piece of copper history is more than just spare change. It's a symbol of an era, a connection to the early reign of Queen Elizabeth II, and still holds value in today's collector market. If you've recently come across a 1965 halfpenny and want to know more about its background and how much it's worth in US dollars, then you're in the right place. So let's jump right into the history, design, and market value of this classic British coin. The 1965 UK halfpenny was issued during a time of social and technological change in Britain. It features the second year of Queen Elizabeth II's portrait by Mary Gillick on the obverse, showing the young queen wearing a laurel wreath, a design known for its elegance and simplicity. Surrounding the portrait is the Latin inscription plus Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina F. laughing face : which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This regal portrait was used from 1953 until the late 1960s, and is a favorite among collectors for its classical appearance. On the reverse side, the iconic image of the Golden Hind, the ship famously captained by Sir Francis Drake, takes center stage once again. It's a detailed and historically rich design that connects the coin to Britain's maritime legacy. This design remained consistent for several decades and is recognized instantly by collectors worldwide. The 1965 halfpenny is made from bronze, weighs around 5.67 grams, and measures 25.5 millimeters in diameter. It was produced in large quantities, as it was still a common coin in everyday transactions before decimalization began transforming Britain's currency in 1971. Though it wasn't a rare year for minting, many coins have since been lost or heavily worn, so condition plays a major role in determining their value. So, how much is your 1965 UK halfpenny worth in today's market? Well, if your coin is in good circulated condition with visible details but clear signs of wear, it will typically be valued at around $40 to $80. Coins in very fine or extremely fine condition, where the details are sharper and wear is minimal, often sell for $200 to $300. But if you're lucky enough to have an uncirculated or mint condition piece, especially one with original luster and no blemishes, it could fetch between $500 and $1,000 from a collector looking to complete their set. While the 1965 halfpenny isn't considered a rare coin, its nostalgic value, classic design, and representation of mid-20th century Britain make it a solid and affordable addition to any collection. So there you have it, the 1965 UK halfpenny coin may not be a jackpot, but it certainly carries historical weight and collecting charm. Whether you're keeping it as a keepsake, adding it to your display, or considering a sale, understanding its background and market value is key. These small coins connect us to an era of tradition, elegance, and transition, and that's what makes collecting them so rewarding. Next up, the 1967 UK halfpenny coin. A coin that holds a special place in the hearts of British collectors and history lovers alike. Whether you've recently come across this coin in a family collection, found it tucked away in a drawer, or picked one up at a flea market, you're probably wondering what it's really worth today. So let's dive into the full history, design, and current dollar value of this modest yet historically rich piece of British currency. The 1967 UK halfpenny coin is particularly interesting because it was part of the very last batch of halfpennies minted for general circulation in the UK. Although halfpenny coins were dated 1970 in a special proof set, 1967 marks the final year the coin was issued for everyday use. It was produced in large numbers as the British government anticipated the need for small change before the switch to decimalization in 1971. On the obverse of the coin, we see the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Mary Gillick. This elegant and widely admired image features the Queen wearing a laurel wreath and is accompanied by the Latin inscription, plus Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina F laughing face : which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This was the original portrait of the Queen used on British coinage from 1953 until the late 1960s. Flip the coin over and you're met once again with the beautiful and detailed image of the Golden Hind, the famous ship captained by Sir Francis Drake during his circumnavigation of the globe in the late 1500s. The ship design was a long-standing feature of the halfpenny coin, and remains one of its most recognizable and beloved traits. The coin itself is made of bronze, weighs about 5.67 grams, and measures 25.5 millimeters in diameter. Its smooth edge and classic ship design make it a favorite for both beginner and seasoned collectors. Now let's talk value. Because the 1967 halfpenny was minted in very large quantities and is relatively easy to find, it's not considered rare, but it still has collector interest, especially in higher grades. If you have a 1967 UK halfpenny in good circulated condition, it's typically worth around $300 to $500. In very fine or extremely fine condition, where the details of the design remain crisp and clear, you might get between $100 and $200. However, if your coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition, with full original luster and no visible wear, collectors could pay anywhere from $3 to $7 depending on demand and presentation. It's also worth noting that coins graded by professional services can fetch even higher prices if they are in pristine condition. In summary, the 1967 UK halfpenny might not be a rare or high-value coin, but it marks the end of an era in British coinage and is an affordable piece of history that still holds its charm. It's perfect for collectors who are passionate about pre-decimal British coins, or simply want to preserve a piece of Queen Elizabeth II's early reign. Whether you decide to keep it, trade it, or sell it, knowing the story behind this coin makes it all the more meaningful and enjoyable to own. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more coin collecting insights, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Have a coin you'd like us to cover next? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to help you explore its history and value. Until next time, happy collecting, and keep uncovering the hidden treasures in your pocket change.